Level up with Dr. Leyland. Step into the future, the world is waiting now. Dreams are in the making, we'll show you how. From the books to the screen, from the stage to the stars. Level up your game, let's raise the bar. Innovation, inspiration, it's in our DNA. Breaking through the limits, we're paving the way. Level up, reach the sky, take the lead, don't be shy. Your story's worth it, your light will shine. At Level Up Academy, it's your time. Oh, it's your time. At Level Up Academy, we rise and climb. Empowered in your passion, your voice will be heard. Building a legacy with every word. From podcasts to pages, from business to art. Level Up's the place where it all can start. With heart and with vision, we're chasing every goal. Together we'll ignite the fire in your soul. Level up, reach the sky, take the lead, don't be shy. Your story's worth it, your light will shine. At Level Up Academy, it's your time. Oh, it's your time. At Level Up Academy, we rise and climb. We're trailblazing, breaking through the mold. Dreams are alive, let your story unfold. With courage and pride, we'll take the fight. At Level Up, we own the night. Level up, reach the sky, take the lead, don't be shy. Your story's worth it, your light will shine. At Level Up Academy, it's your time. Oh, it's your time. At Level Up Academy, we rise and climb. Let's level up and never look back. On the road to greatness, we're on the right track. Together we'll soar, together we'll thrive. At Level Up Academy, we're alive.
Woo! Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I know we've been gone for a bit. Susannah and I have been gone for a bit. It's called life, people, okay? I was just talking to sister, and we were talking about how life, sometimes you have to take a step back, sometimes 3 steps back to have 1 step forward, right? And this is our step back. That is the reason why I'm telling you that, because both of us need a little bit of break and a little bit of grace from everybody. For those of you who are asking what's happening, what's going on, it's something that is personal. I'm not ready to talk about it right now, but what I can tell you is that one of those changes is me moving. And I just have a lot of changes all at once. So what I ask from you guys, Team Replay or Current, is to pray. Pray for good transitions, pray for safety, because my butt got into a car accident. I could have died, honestly, but I didn't. God saved me. I got hit sideswipe basically when I was going straight. So, but I'm okay. The car's not. And I was supposed to be moving today, actually this weekend, not today, but like Friday to Northern California, but I'm not. And now I'm on limbo, and I don't like being on limbo. My brain's actually cracking. I'm cracking because I don't like being in limbo. I don't know how Sister Susannah does limbo living. I can't do it. But she's a pro. God gave me her for that reason, so I can see how she does it. We learn from each other, and it's the best. Like, I could never ask the best friend ever. And God gave me her. And yeah. And I'm very grateful. So, guys, tonight we have a new, okay, this is our new you know how we have Unmute by Design series, right? And there's a lot of framework on it. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually have a new series, and this is called Unscripted Heart. This series is all about, this one is more of I would say 80% personal rather than business. And I think that you can't do business if you don't take care of your personal affairs, right? And although Susanna and I got accepted on our PhD program for psychology, we both did. It's just the affordability, full disclosure and transparency, like 70 to $80,000 is just out of budget as of right now. But if we have sugar daddy out there that would put both of us to school, we would be forever grateful. I'm just saying, okay? But just because we don't have the degree in psychology doesn't mean we can't talk about it or research about it, because we both are teachers. Yay, I can say that now. She's part-time, I'm full-time. I'm on my 15 years, I believe. But we're going to talk about the psychology behind why we love, think, and act the way we do. And there's going to be multiple episodes, right? So the first episode is tonight. It's called The Brain in Love. Why we fall so fast and crash even faster. It's so dramatic. But let's just say that I have experienced it, and I'm sure sister has too. But welcome to Unscripted Heart. I'm Dr. Constance Leyland, professor, author, and founder of Level Up Academy. And this show is where science meets soul. We'll explore the psychology of love, the neuroscience of happiness, and of course, the patterns that quietly shape how we think, feel, and connect. And I'm hoping that this episodes or series will help those people who are living in between, seeking love and happiness and peace. Because the truth is, love isn't random, it's chemistry, it's wiring our brain, and it's also a choice. Now, every week, I shouldn't say every week, I can't promise that, but every week, Sunday, we try between Unmute by Design and Unscripted Heart. You guys will have the books, I should say, on this series. I don't know when, to be honest, right? We're still doing our academic publishing, which I haven't even given it to both my sisters. But anyhow, we'll dive into real conversation about what makes relationships work and why they sometimes don't. And we'll talk about how our brains respond to love, fear, rejection, and belonging. And if we have a love experts out there that we can find, maybe even a psychiatrist or psychologist, if you're listening in Team Replay, we would love to have you. We welcome you in the panel, right? We'll unpack topics like emotional attachment, boundaries, that's a big one, healing from heartbreak, all backed by psychology, emotional intelligence, and obviously lived experiences. Okay. Now, this isn't your typical love podcast. Okay. It's not even a love podcast. It's about rewiring your perspective, from chasing validation to creating connection, from surviving chaos to choosing calm, from questioning your worth to owning it. So, if you're ready to understand your brain, honor your emotions, and live with purpose, you're in the right place, because the heart doesn't follow a script, and neither should you, right? So, welcome to our Unscripted Heart, where we decode love, life, and pursuit of happiness. I hope you guys are ready, and we are going to talk about that. But it's been a hot minute since I have really provided some of my sponsors. So we are going to put our sponsors for tonight.
Now, our first sponsor here is Susannah Dawn. She's not just a writer, she's a truth alchemist, a sought after editor, ghostwriter, and speaker. Susannah helps heart driven leaders, creatives, and change makers move beyond the boxes society tries to shove them into. Her work is rooted in radical authenticity, emotional clarity, and storytelling that doesn't just sound good, it feels like you. If you got a story that needs to be told, but the words are tangled, or if you tried hiding behind polished personas and crave a voice that's truly yours, well, Susanna will help you write, speak, and show up with raw and powerful, real presence. She doesn't just edit your words, she helps you reclaim your narrative. This isn't copy editing, guys. This is soul alignment. Now, let me talk to you about my brother from another Mr. Mike Asherbrenner. He is a catalyst for clarity in a world full of noise, whether he's speaking, mentoring, or guiding others through transformative conversations. Mike brings a steady mix of wisdom, grounded presence, and no nonsense truth telling that helps people reconnect with their purpose and rise above the chaos. He is known for his ability to see what others miss. Mike helps you cut through limiting beliefs, outdated narratives, and internal roadblocks so you can lead, live, and love from a place of deep alignment. If you're ready to break cycles, reclaim your confidence, and show up fully in every room you enter, well, Mike is the guide who will walk with you, not ahead of you. He doesn't just hype you up, he holds you up. Scan that QR code. Now let's talk about Bass Porter. He's not here to play small, and neither are you. As a global transformational speaker, mentor, and spiritual guide, Baz brings you unapologetic truth, soul level strategy, and decades of lived experience to the table. He's walked through darkness, faced down the noise of trauma and self doubt, and came out not just stronger, but unstoppable. When you work with Baz, you're not getting surface level motivation. You're stepping into a high frequency container built for radical change. He helps visionaries, leaders, and purpose driven individuals break free from fear, rewrite their inner blueprint, and embody the greatness they were born for. If you're tired of excuses, ready to shift timeliness, and done with playing with safe, Baz is your catalyst. Scan that QR code. He also offers community support, right? For a million dreams. So once you go through his transformative courses or masterclass, you're going to have that community support. Join now. Scan that QR code. What are you waiting for? Here's one of my sponsors as well, Bella Grace. What an amazing elixir. If you are wanting to do something for your inside, your body, you feel like your joint is inflamed, or you're having those aches and pains, or you're looking so ragged and fatigued all the time, this elixir is your fountain of youth. Scan that QR code and go ahead and take us for a spin for 30 days. I know I have, and I've seen such a big difference. Now, if you are looking to learn, right, to be on the boots on the ground type about social media and the power of social media and the tips and tricks that you will never find anywhere else because nobody is telling you, they're gatekeeping this information. Here is a platform called Influencing You. I am there on Fridays, 10 a.m. PST. Join me for an exclusive freebies on there every Friday. Bye. See you soon. Scan that QR code. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It is that time again. Third year in a row. 50 inspirational connections. Now it's not just LinkedIn, it is in all your social media. Are you ready? Scan that QR code and go ahead and nominate yourself or nominate someone else who rocked your life, right? Somebody. This isn't just another hashtag, it's a movement. 50 inspirational.
All right, guys. We do have 50 inspirational, but I haven't decided when I'm going to do it sometime this year. It's called life. Hello? Oh my gosh. Okay. I have a lot of commitments that's why we want to talk about these things tonight, okay? The brain in love while you fall so fast and crash even harder. How are you, sister?
I'm doing good. Welcome to a Sunday of, it's a typical Sunday.
Yeah, I'm enjoying my coffee.
Mm-hmm. Enjoying your coffee with a Dukas and Chichi or
Just
Chacharita.
Duke now. Yeah, Duke and Chacharita. So how are you? How are you doing tonight? I actually wish that you could like give me the coffee or not coffee, banana cake right now and blueberries in front of me. I'm like, oh, I want some so bad.
I know, banana bread with blueberries. I can't wait to try it, and I can't even do that tonight. I have to wait until tomorrow.
Oh man, oh man. So thank you for actually going with me on this one. Oh my god, I don't like that. The little whatever. I'm just gonna go with it. This is called The Brain in Love: Why We Fall So Fast and Crash Even Harder, or faster, I should say. That little blurb that you see is called A Deep Dive into the Neuroscience of Romance, Passion, and Heartbreak. It sounds like a theory book series, right? But this one is kind of interesting, and I know this is kind of small. But you guys will hopefully have an iPad or like a Mac that you can make it bigger, okay? But I'm gonna read it to you. It's called The Universal Mystery of Love. Now, anthropologist Helen Fisher actually made a groundbreaking discovery. Romantic love exists in 147 out of 166 societies. Isn't that crazy? So what we are what I'm trying to say is basically saying, hey, she studied worldwide that isn't cultural, right? People always think like, oh, it's cultural. Love is cultural. Actually, it's biological. And love triggers ancient brain circuits, okay, that evolved millions of years ago to reward essential survival behaviors like bonding, reproduction, and pair formation. You've seen so many Asian movies, especially like, the Buddhists will believe in reincarnation and stuff, right? So they basically will say, okay, if you are so in love in this day and age or this century, when we die, we're gonna find ourselves again, and you see them really redo that, reborn. Because here's the thing, it's called pair formation, right? From the Amazon rainforest to Manhattan skyscrapers, literally, guys, the experience of falling in love follows the same neural pathways. Okay, so that's where science. Now let's talk about the brain love circuit. You guys will know dopamine, right? And the reward system. So VTA, this is called ventral tegmental area. This is where the brain's dopamine factory goes into overdrive. It produces waves of feel good, like neurotransmitter that literally creates intense pleasure and motivation at the same time, right? The nucleus accumbens, this is the reward center, lights up like a firework. Pew, pew, like, oh my God, I'm getting a butterfly in my stomach. Oh my God, it feels so good to get morning messages, right? Creating that euphoria and obsessive focus on your beloved, similar to like cocaine's effect on your brain. Hint, ADHD have that little cocaine that they give you legally, right? This is for that nucleus accumbens, because our brain basically bounces. Think of like a ball, when you bounce it and it just keeps bouncing, and obviously it's going to stop. Well, the bouncing part is, this is where the ventral tegmental area basically get that thing, and then you get the signal just kind of woo woo, and when that signal goes up and down, the bouncing part of the ball, that is where you just get hit of like high, so high, right? And this is the dopamine surge, where the chemical flood creates that, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I'm feeling like so abandoned or so in love, either way, right? Driving you into that pursue your partner with single-minded intensity. And sister knows what I'm talking about. I'm gonna stop here before I go on and have sister's thoughts. What do you think, sister?
Yeah. Hmm. Exactly. But it is. I've that dopamine effect. I mean, everybody wants their dopamine. It just feels like that's how it is. And to see how this that love reaction and everything can just give you that hit, and basically on the one hand it's like it turns your day around, and on the other hand it's like it turns life upside down. So just seeing that system, you talk about the reward system and everything, and I see it, a lot of it is really trying to have that understanding so that you can go into it with a little bit clearer head than just let it roll you over like a tide in a hurricane. So yeah.
I can't like stop. Okay, first of all, sister, we love you. Oh, whoever's in here, guys, if you have my 925-621 number, I lost that number. So if you're texting me, yeah, that's not gonna happen. I did update my new number on my LinkedIn contact info. So if you actually go in that number, go in my profile on LinkedIn, my phone number is updated on there. Long story short, okay, so just FYI. Let's see, Lisa, welcome. Trent, I think this is your first time here. Welcome, Trent, from LinkedIn. Homer, what's up? I know, great to see you too, Homer. It's been a hot minute for us here too. Thank you so much for showing up today. Sister, I'm gonna actually talk to you about the two things that we talked about this morning, right? So from my past experience, let me really think about this. It's one thing if somebody tells you, okay, I'm gonna say it because it's my experience. Okay, let me rewire my brain for a minute. Okay, and I'm also like threading lightly here. So if someone tells you, one person tells you like, oh my God, I love you so quickly, really that's fast intimacy, right? It's emotional rush, but there's no deep love in there. It is, however, if you yourself are hungry for love and craving for love, you're gonna get caught up in that excitement, right? Because you're meeting someone new, you really need that love, you need that attention. But this actually is more infatuation, guys, right? Which infatuation is not a bad thing. People always say, like, oh my God, anything that's bad is not that bad if there is a happy medium. Just like if you eat a lot of something, it's going to be bad for you. But if you just eat a little bit, you'll be okay. Okay. So infatuation is really about chemistry and fantasy. They are married together. And when they make a mistake, that rush for that real love, like, oh my God, I love you. I want to marry you in 6 hours. Sometimes it isn't malicious in every case. It's genuinely like believing what they're saying in the moment. But the reality is love requires time. They require consistency and actually really knowing each other beyond that surface level of attraction. And I think men more so than women, I'm not saying women don't, but men, when they see a beautiful woman they're attracted to in the first place, they tend to latch on to that. So then there's also people who are testing boundaries, right? Like declaring love and talking about marriage right away can also be way to get to test your receptive of how you are. Some people will go with it because it might be just like a game for them, and some people are like, oh my God, she's really in love with me, I'm gonna get married, right? Because you seem open to the idea. And then you might see like, oh my gosh, I can move faster than this, right? People who do this are often trying to secure commitment before a real bond is built, sometimes out of insecurity, sometimes for control. We've seen that one too. And then love bombing is a red flag, guys, right? This is when someone overwhelms you with affection and grand gestures and creates a sense of obligation or dependency. It's common manipulative relationships, right? If a man barely knows you, or a woman, And it's making a big promise like love and marriage and you're my soulmate. Slow down a little bit, because real partners respect pacing. And I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to ask my sister's thoughts on this one because she's seen this one.
Well, it's important to pace it, because for someone to say that they love you in crap less than even a couple of months at least, you have to wonder what is going on. I know there's some people who will say, oh, there's love at first sight and they married and they're still married kind of deal, but that's like finding a needle in a haystack. It's possible, but not all that likely. You have to be able to go into it with a clearer head, know what you're doing, and be clear about where you want to be. It's always interesting to see what happens, and yeah, it can be the most interesting ride.
I'm trying to not laugh. Yeah, actually, it is the most interesting ride because if you guys are single out there and you're looking for like dating and things like that, right? You got to be careful too, right? So I'm talking to you as well. Even if you're married and, sometimes people randomly ask for your number, or sometimes people will love bomb you and stop you in the middle of the road to tell you how cute you are. Just slow down that flattery, okay? Because men are usually just looking at your physical attraction. Now, different cultural or personal beliefs. In some cultures, though, or some upbringings, quick marriage proposals are normal. But even then, healthy relationships will involve mutual understanding, shared values, and time to see someone's true character. I'm the type of person, and I told this to sister and even my husband at the very beginning, is basically we said, hey, most women will be, or men, in their best behavior, especially in the first 3 months of your relationship. I actually do the opposite. I'm like the worst ever girlfriend, because I say if you can handle me at my worst, then you deserve the best of me, right? So that's how I roll with my relationships in the past. And I think I'd still would do that as well. Another thing is the loneliness or desperation. Sometimes it's not romance at all when people do that. It's because it's someone trying to fill a void in their life. They latch on to the first person who makes them feel wanted and good. And that's not about you, though. That's about them trying to fix their life with a fast relationship. And the problem is, if you both are in that situation, you can get in deep doo doo, right? So if you're in that situation, guys, pause and observe and do his action or her action match the words over time. And I mean, not for a month over time, for a while, okay? Don't rush. Set your own pace. Sometimes someone who's serious to love you and marry you literally will respect your timeline and ask questions like, why are you moving so fast? What does marriage mean to you? What is going on here, right? Because marriage is work, okay? It is work. So protect yourself emotionally and legally, because fast moves can lead to regret sometimes. And so we're going to move on to chemistry of early love, passion. Of course, this thing is so crazy how it just didn't even go where it needed to be. But ADHD. Passion and obsession. That's the word, obsession. So when you have cortisol spikes, the stress hormone surges during early love. It literally triggers physical responses like racing heartbeat, like, oh my God, I'm so in love. Sometimes you get sweaty palms and butterflies in your stomach. I get butterflies in my stomach, that's for sure. And my heartbeat race, and you're literally stressed, but in the best way possible because you're high on dopamine, right? But cortisol is for your stress level. But this type of stress is about love. Then what happens is when your serotonin drops, okay, levels plummet to patterns seen in obsessive compulsive disorder, which I think I have a little bit of it, explaining why you can't stop checking your phone or replaying every conversation in your head, right? You're like, oh, did she responded? Did he responded? And then you get a little bit of attitude like, oh my God, it's already morning. Why are you not up and not responding to me? Right? Serotonin drops. Okay. So then there's intrusive thoughts, the neurochemical cocktail that creates these types of all consuming, intrusive thoughts about your beloved that dominates every waking moment, dominates your work. You can't think straight. You're like working. You're like, oh my God, why is this person not responding yet? And it's really horrible right now, especially when people are obsessed with their phones. So that chemistry of early love, passion, and obsession, it's the highs and lows. It's because the cortisol, you're stressed, but in a good way. And then when you don't get the response that you want, your serotonin kind of drops and you're like, oh, what's going on? Right. And then the response most of the time is A, you pace, B, you're not concentrating on your job or your work. C, you forget more things because you're more in, looking at your phone. And D, you get obsessive, and it depends if you have a control issue already, right? Because remember I told you you can't control people, but if you're a controlling person, you'll see that in their messages, because they'll message you like, why are you not here? It's already this time. What's going on? Like that manipulation is what you will see. And then we're gonna do love is addiction, why we can't stop thinking about the one. um okay, so the science of healthy addiction. CJ, there's no such thing as healthy addiction. Well, the brain imaging studies reveal that a starting truth, romantic love actually activates the exact same neural regions as substance addiction. Did you guys know that? I did not even know that. I was like, right? They had the brain image actually. So the same dopamine pathways lights up if you were addicted to drugs and love. Okay. Similar patterns of craving and obsession emerge. You want more drugs, you want more love. Withdrawal symptoms appear when separated. That's when you hear their texts, you hear them on the phone, like, where are you? What are you doing? How's your morning? And for you, if you're a normal person, you're probably thinking, oh, they're just concerned. They just love me so much. That's why they're doing that. No, actually, they're about addicted to you, and that could turn into danger. Okay. And tolerance doesn't develop, intensity can last for years, guys. This healthy addiction evolved to motivate us to pursue and maintain pair bonds. But it also explains why heartbreak feels like going through withdrawal from a powerful drug, right? That's why heartache sometimes really is deathly. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to ask my sister her thoughts.
That unable to stop thinking. I think there's as I'm thinking about everything you were saying, and something else just jumped into my head on how in this world too, with social media and everything, there's that push to respond right away, to be quick to answer something. And it's almost like everything that you just said, society is also kind of trying to get us into that control mode, or be controlled, because we're being controlled by social media. It's like you have to do so many posts, you have to respond so quickly, you have to all of these things. And so the minute that you try to be yourself and not jump when everything is trying to tell you to jump, then especially if somebody's a control freak, it's like they have to control. They're just going to keep pushing you until they get what they want, or you stand up and say, we're done. And it's better to say we're done than it is to cave in.
Yeah, but it's really hard when you're in the middle of that, because you're in the middle of, oh, I'm not going to feel loved anymore, or I'm not going to feel cared anymore, right? But in reality, guys, the only person that you can really like to truly honestly depend on is yourself. So you need to be strong with yourself to make sure that you can handle it. And it also helps if you have a bestie. I'm just saying. To get you grounded when you're, I share everything, and I mean everything with Susannah. Building my crap for my storage, falling crap, cleaning, showering, gosh, everything, literally, baking, cooking. We stay on the phone, and get in there. So it's really kind of interesting how love is an addiction of drugs. I was like, I can see that, because that's why heartbreaks, like, when I think of heartbreaks and people who are, I've seen right now, I've seen the one in TikTok, is Kensington, like a lot of the homeless population are so high in drugs. And I'm thinking, like, if you are so high in love and then it just stops you, like that withdrawal. And thank goodness I don't have an addictive personality, because that would be really bad. And the brain's, oh my gosh, I hate that it doesn't like go all the way. Anyway, the brain's blind spot, how love dulls judgment. Okay. The amygdala, this is where activity decreases, the brain's fear and judgment center. It's your amygdala. Everybody has it. Okay. Not just CJ or Susannah. Okay. Everybody has the amygdala. This is where your brain actually fears and judgment center quiets down dramatically. This makes you less critical, more trusting, and willing to overlook red flags you'd normally spot instantly. The prefrontal cortex quiets, your rational decision headquarters takes a backseat. Logic and reason literally will fade, while emotion and idealization takes the wheel. You basically are a passenger of your own brain at that point. Rust-colored vision emerges. This neural dampening fuels impulsive decisions and idealized views of your partner. They seem perfect, they're amazing, because your brain is literally filtering out the critical assessment of this relationship and said, he's fine, he's sweet, or she's good, she's pretty, she's cute, she's good, right? The evolution design. So the blindness isn't actually a flaw, it's a feature in our brain. And it helps us commit to a relationship despite our partner's imperfection, promoting long-term bonding. And so I'm trying to rewire my brain on that one, to really be having a partner and a relationship of myself. I know that sounds so weird and odd. Unless you're in my shoes, you wouldn't get it. Susannah gets it because she's also going through this same thing, right? So when you're like, oh my God, blah, 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 and they treat you like crap, that amygdala activity is decreasing. Be for real. Okay, that's the trusting. Like, I trust they're good, and most of us are really good, so we are very trusting people. And then the people pleasing also comes in, which is like a character flaw, but it's really just a feature of our brain, right? So be very careful when that happens. Now, I hate this thing. It's just not good. Anyway, from passion to attachment, the oxytocin and the vasopressin's rule. So basically, okay, think of like when you're in a relationship, whether it's relationship or friendship, really, is the early love, the dopamine, the norepinephrine, they dominate, creating that passion, that excitement, that obsession, the looking forward to the messages or phone calls or whatever love letters that you get. 0 to 18 months. If you hit that 18 months, that's going to create more sustainability to your relationship and digging into your brain. Now, the transition phase, if you're dating, 18 to 36 months, this is where the oxytocin and the vasopressin begin to rise, while dopamine intensity gradually kind of stabilize, like neutralize in your brain. You're like, okay, I see a little bit of red flags here. I'm not sure what's going on, right? And then the mature love is literally about 3+ plus years. This is where the bonding hormones dominate, creating the deep attachment, trust, and secure connection. This neurochemical shifts transformation from fiery, all consuming passion into something more sustainable, a calm, secure bond built on trust and deep attachment. And the intensity can decrease, but the connection kind of deepens depending on your activities, right? I can actually I argue with my brain most of the time because I'm very emotional. So sometimes my emotion takes over my logic. And then I have to tell my sister, like, this is what's happening with me right now, but I want you to know that I'm freaking fully aware of what's going on. And that kind of signals here that I'm not in cloud nine and staying in cloud nine. She knows that I'm in cloud nine, but my feet is actually on the ground. What are your thoughts on that, sister?
It's one of those things. I've been in that situation where you have the clarity, you're doing something, but you still can kind of tell what's going on. And so when those moments happen, it really is important to take note what's going on. Take note, see that you not only are in cloud nine, because if you're fully there, when you're in it, you don't quite realize what you're in when you're in the midst of something, good or bad. Usually we think of it as a bad part, but good or bad, when you're in it, you probably aren't seeing everything clear. But if you've got your feet on the ground and you kind of have that ability to see what's going on while experiencing cloud nine, it gives you a better chance of getting through it whole. Because I've been in those situations where when you're in the moment and whatever's happening is happening to you, for me, it's like I can't, I don't, my feet aren't on the ground. And again, because we share so much, when I was in those situations, I've got somebody on the outside able to look at me and say, we need to get you grounded. You need to see what's going on. But when you can sit there and say, yeah, I'm in the clouds, but I can see I'm in the clouds, then you don't have to do as much of an intervention.
And I actually don't want her to worry about me, so I tell her, like, what's happening, you know? Okay, so this is our last phase, guys. This is when love crashes to neuroscience of heartbreak that's covered there. So some brain regions as physical pain. fMRI, it's a scan in your body, right? It shows that heartbreak actually activates the anterior cingulate cortex. I know this is more scientific in the brain, but the same region that processes physical pain, like ouch, that ache in your chest, it's neurologically real. Okay, in the head, it is neurologically real. So when you feel like someone's sitting on your chest and you just can't breathe and you can't think straight and you're just like crashing out, the dopamine and oxytocin crash, your brain's reward chemicals plummet suddenly, creating a withdrawal state marked by depression, and anhedonia, an intense craving for your ex. It is bad. No matter how bad they are, that literally dopamine and oxytocin crash is horrible, right? But we all go through that. Now, cortisol floods the system. So the stress hormones, cortisol is your stress hormones. If you're stressed, your belly gets kind of super big too. And you kind of gain too much weight because that cortisol is making too much. Now, stress hormones surge, it triggers anxiety. So then you get anxiety, then you get insomnia, then you get lost appetite or more appetite in my case, and physical symptoms like chest tightness and fatigue. You get so tired all the time. That's because your dopamine and oxytocin is crashing on you. Okay. And basically couple that with perimenopause is not a good combination. Okay. So how do we heal the brain after the love ends? Because this is like real life, right? So the recovery timeline really is also important. Like, how do we recover if this is you're going through right now? So the neurochemical restoration strategies, these are not from me. This is more of like, basically I'm looking at Helen Fisher's on this information. The first one is social connection, right? When you have somebody that you like, for me, I have Susannah, I have my sister Danielle, I have my brother Mike, right? We kind of joke around. The social connection, this triggers your oxytocin release naturally. So if you have that friends and you call them and you have that will release. Exercise boost your dopamine and endorphins when you exercise. Also, activates reward circuits is the novel experiences, meaning go somewhere else, go to the mall and not buy anything. Like, really challenge yourself and be intense, right? Because when we are stressed, we tend to buy things, especially if you have ADHD. It's because it's where we're trying to get that dopamine, and our cortisol is like stress, and the dopamine's like, yeah, like it's just cheerleading you on. So that's why we do that. Sunlight and nature regulate serotonin levels. If you go out and take a walk and just breathe, enjoy everything, that regulates, by the way, your serotonin levels, right? And it's so important that you get quality sleep, because this allows your neural repair and consolidation with yourself. And the problem is, if you're already insomniac, you might need a medicine to knock you out. But take it from me, be careful. Because you might sleep all day and you have a job, you're going to get fired. Don't do that either. Okay. So why understanding love brain matters? Why does it matter? It's because you can't really think straight if you are having some issues. So here's the thing: self-awareness. We talked about self-awareness in many cases. Understanding the neuroscience helps you recognize when you're in the chemical storm, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You're human. Okay. There's nothing wrong with you. Because sometimes you're like, oh, there's something wrong with me. No, no, no. This experience is a human experience. Okay. This is not AI experience. This phase versus authentic compatibility. You're going through it. Better relationships. Understanding your brain actually helps you make conscious choices rather than being swept away by neurochemistry alone. Not only in business partnerships, but also in relationships and friendships. This three, right? And empathy and compassion, knowing that love and heartbreak are neurobiological processes, this helps you show compassion to yourself and others during relationship challenges. If you're not going through that relationship challenges, but maybe you have a friend who's going through and they can't help themselves, and you're like, why are you like this? It's because you're not in that situation. Please don't open your mouth and give advice. They don't need your advice. They just need you to be a good listener. Okay. And set realistic expectations. Awareness of love's chemical phases prevents your disappointment when passion naturally evolves into a deeper attachment. And again, deeper attachment is like, oh my God, you're so bad, you get attached. Again, that's a human pattern, human nature. Okay. Patience with healing, guys. Heartbreaks for somebody maybe a day, maybe a year, maybe forever. Okay. Just because you can let go with heartache faster doesn't mean it makes you a better person. It just means your chemistry in your brain is faster to heal. Don't compare yourself. Knowing heartbreak is a neurochemical withdrawal. It helps you be patient with the recovery timeline, your timeline, not somebody else's. Okay. So love is both a powerful gift and a profound challenge. So this is a friendly reminder that you are beautifully complex human beings, driven by ancient circuits in our brain designed to help us connect, bond, and sometimes survive the pain of loss. Armed with this knowledge, you can navigate the journey with greater wisdom and obviously also grace. I also wanted to tell you guys also in terms of the brain basic powerhouse, right? Kind of like a summary of everything. The true end brain, this is the reptilian limbic. Remember, I told you about ancient brain, right? And the neocortex. These are layers of instinct and emotion and logic. This is when your gut tells you something is wrong. That is your limbic system, literally. Okay. It related to a decision making where I know better. Why the heck did I do that? Why did I do that? I know better, right? And because your brain isn't broken, it's just wired for survival, not for happiness. And I really want happiness every day, and it's been hard lately, but I'm trying. Okay, the chemistry of love and connection, it's the dopamine, that's the your reward system. The oxytocin, this is the bonding situation. The serotonin, this is stabilizing your emotions. And the endorphins, this is where you get comfortable, right? And how they create that in love high. Explain why early stage of infatuation, like, oh my God, he's so cute, feels like addiction, or she's so pretty. That attachment can be very, very detrimental to your mental health. When when someone says, I love you too fast, that dopamine's talking. It's not really the devotion. The brain on stress and trauma is literally fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, right? And the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex on your brain is the one that's kind of creating that. So the psychology patterns of attraction is mirror neurons, repetition, compulsion. So challenge yourself, guys. If you're in that situation, challenge yourself to just be still. Do nothing. Don't communicate, don't do nothing. And I'm on testing phase. Sister, what are your thoughts on this?
You definitely want to be careful in terms of how much you say, what you're doing, and being able to see what's going on, because all those aspects. Okay, so we can say it's all part of that love reaction, but so much of that is a part of life as well. So it's nothing to disregard. In fact, you need to have that understanding. You need to know what's going to happen so that you can keep your mind clear. It's when we allow ourselves to get cloudy and go off the deep end that we get into trouble.
And life gets complicated.
Life is meant to be complicated, okay?
Doesn't have to be, should be simple. And I think it's the choices that we make that makes our life complicated. Because if you don't make a choice and you just sit still, okay, I'm not saying don't make a choice either, because then that could also get you stuck. Okay, I'm saying if you don't make a choice, okay, if you are presented with a decision between A and B, sit still for a moment and replay in your head. If I do A, and you're not stupid, you're smart people, okay? You know the outcome. If you choose A, you could lose something. If you choose B, you could lose something. So, which of these two losses is detrimental to yourself? Because you're gonna both lose somehow. You're not gonna win. Like, the winning part is the choice that you make. If you like, okay, let me give you an example. I saw I think it was a lady. She was texting her students in high school. She was a high school student, teacher, I mean. And she's been doing it for 3 years, actually. It was on my feed for some reason. And oh, I think I know some friend that posted it, and I think they mentioned my name, like, what are your thoughts on this one, on the message. And basically the teacher was tutoring the student in math, and then somehow they got build relationship. Mind you, this teacher is 26 and the boy is 14. Okay, so illegal. Anyhow, they've had relationships. They didn't have any like physical sexual stuff, they were just texting each other, but that's like inappropriate. And so it's been going on for 3 years, and the boy lost his cell phone to a party, and the mom basically backed up his phones and stuff in the computer, because that's the mom. And she basically bought her son a new computer, a new cell phone. So she plugged it in, because she wanted to make sure that all of his contacts and text messages is literally like restored. And the mom was going through the text and saw some inappropriate pictures and then saw the teacher's face and then basically talked to her son like, what the heck is going on? And the son's like, oh, this has been going on for 3 years. So like it started when he was 11. How the heck do you think that that is appropriate? Like, if you don't act, you lose the boy, which is appropriate because you're 26 and you're a teacher. And if you don't, then you lose your career and you lose your face and you can go to jail. Like, you see that situation? It's basically you lose, but one of the loss is detrimental to yourself. The other loss is good for your loss. Okay? Like, so all I'm saying is that you guys know you guys know what the loss is gonna be. Okay, when you say it's a win-win, sometimes it's not a win-win, it's a loss-loss situation, but you're gonna have to take one evil over the other, and actually the other is not an evil, it's actually a choice of an adult, right? So be careful with your choices because it can hunt you down. And it feels good at the moment, but at the same time it's hard to backpedal yourself to like, oh my god, why did I do this? And now like you're trying to see like, how do we make this that you don't hurt other people because you have a people pleasing personality? How do you not do this to not hurt somebody? Yeah. And so just be careful with your choices and be careful when you're making a choice for business or relationship. So sir, do you have any last minute anything about the brain in love?
Like a lot of stuff I talk about, awareness is really one of the biggest pieces to it. Having that awareness, having an understanding of what's going on, and knowing where you're comfortable and where you're not, and don't let anyone else push you into a space that you're not comfortable.
Yeah, Annie says, I love being on cloud nine for as long as I can. We're talking about relationship. That's good, especially if you already have been with your spouse for a long time. Cloud nine is amazing. It's cushy in there, it's comfortable. It's oh yes, I'm stretching. This is good. You know, you've been there. But for some people who's going through divorce and things like that, it's kind of hard, you know, like it's hard to go through that, or even separation, or maybe even a breakup with your boyfriend and girlfriend if you guys are, you know, going through that. It's a difficult kind of road. I love this one. No breakup, Dr. CJ. Why can't we develop more loyalty over time? Sometimes breakup is necessary because it doesn't match, right? You don't want to carry your heartache and also your relationship in a way that you're not happy. Happiness is everything for people, and sometimes there is, I don't know if there is true happiness. I don't even know if that is something that is achievable, but if I'm happy every day, over time my happiness meter is going up. That's how I see it. Because I think true happiness, there's always something in your life that's missing, or you have money but you don't have a good people or good people around you. You don't have money but you have good people around you, or you have good money and you have good people around you but you suck at something. There's always something wrong with life if the way you look at it that way. But the way I look at it is just, it's more of a challenge, and it's really a matter of how you want to look at yourself to see where happiness should be for you. And don't let anybody else any say, oh, right? And I love that you're here, bro. I'm loyal to you. You know this. So we love you. That is a business partnership love, right? Hello, Mark. It's been a hot minute. Thank you for being here. Bro, Kenneth, what's up, delicious friend? Savor the flavor of some awesomeness in your piece for sharing your beautiful, well articulated, like on stage, heartfelt thoughts, bits of inspiration, encouragement, enthusiasm, knowledge, motivation, guidance, support. I love it. And Kenny, I think we were on the room one point, maybe even 2 years ago, when we talked about love and love for music, love for passion, on, you know, caring for others. And sometimes we care too much about others and we forget to care about ourselves, and we put ourselves last because we live in a society that if you concentrate too much on yourself, you're a narcissist. And okay, I'm a narcissist if I care about myself. That's fine, because if I don't care about myself, no one else will, right? So long as we're doing it for the community, I think we're good. True happiness is both having inner peace, um, individually and together. I agree. I agree. I think if your decision is to you're comfortable with your decision that you're not hurting other people, that is definitely true happiness. I agree. It's just different for other people in terms of the peace itself and together. Sister, any last minute?
I think everything has been said. There's just so much. It is a big topic, but being able to go into it with your eyes open, and just work at not letting the infatuation take over, because that's where we get in trouble. It's not, in many ways, it's not real when you go down that path. And if you're going to have love, you want it to be real. And that, like you said before, that takes time.
It does. It takes time. So thank you guys for joining us today on Unscripted Heart. Maybe we'll do Unmute Design next week and then Unscripted Heart the next after that. But I hope this episode helped you see love, life, and yourself through a new lens. Remember, your heart isn't broken, it's learning. And every experience, good or bad, is teaching your brain how to love better, not less. If this conversation resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe, follow us, and leave a review if you can, because it helps us reach more people who are really needing it to understand the science and soul behind love and happiness. You can connect with us on LinkedIn and follow Level Up Academy by Dr. Leyland in there as well for more insights, resources, and real conversations about growth and authenticity. So until next time, keep listening to your intuition, keep learning your patterns, and most of all, keep leading with your heart. Because here, we don't live by the script, we live by the truth. My name is Dr. Constance Leland, and my co-host is
Susannah Dawn.
Bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
I started in the silence, behind closed doors. Dreams too loud to keep tucked in the floorboards. Late nights, broke days, no applause in sight. Just coffee, hustling that fire to fight. They said, play small, but I'm built to expand. No silver spoon, just grit in my hand. I will every note, like armor and steel. Visibility's a battle, but I'm real and I heal. From invisible threads to the front of the stage, I'm rewriting the script, turning scars into page. Level up, rise above the fear. Let them hear your voice, make your purpose clear. Every step, every stumble, every tear in the rough. You were made for this moment, you are enough. Level up, break through the doubt. Turn the whispers of your past into a victory shout. You ain't just chasing clout, you're building a legacy. Now the world's gonna see what they couldn't believe. Yeah, what they couldn't believe. See the back end, just a headline glow. But success is built slow, where the struggle don't show. Algorithms change, but your mission's divine. You're the brand, you're the vision, you're the power behind. You gave free just to prove you have value inside. Now it's invoices paid and your name amplified. You're not just in business, you're changing the game. And your visibility, that's more than a name. No more shrinking, this is expansion. No more asking, this is commanding. You've been the spark, now you're the flame. Entrepreneur by fire, fueled by name. Level up, rise above the fear. Let them hear your voice, make your purpose clear. Every step, every stumble, every tear in the rough. You were made for this moment, you are enough. Level up, break through the doubt. Turn the whispers of your past into a victory shout. You ain't just chasing clout, you're building a legacy. Now the world's gonna see what they couldn't believe. What they couldn't believe. To the late nights, the lost friends, the risks you took, to the brands you built and the space you shook. Here's your crown, your moment. your spotlight beam. You didn't just chase the dream, you became the dream.